Don't wait to make a photo book. I think people see it as like this sort of elite thing. Like making a photo book will officially make you some sort of bona fide artiste. And sure, it can be expensive, but it doesn't have to be.
I like this one for some reason. It's so cute. It's like a cute little petal.
And I personally don't have the kind of money to invest in a high quality photo book, but I decided to still take it into my own hands. Here it is. I'm going to walk you through this project and how I created it in a second. But first, I need to let you know that this is Double Negative, a photography podcast by Will Malone, with your host, me, the titular Will Malone. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel if you're picking up what I'm putting down. This summer, I started a flower garden. I don't know the first thing about plants or anything like that, but I started going to these kid craft things with my daughter at a local plant shop, and suddenly planting some seeds, nurturing them, and watching them develop into these beautiful, colorful things was just so appealing to me. So one day I tore up this spot in my backyard, put a bunch of bricks around it, and dumped some manure and garden soil in it. Then I planted some marigolds, sunflowers, and cosmos. It's a really sunny spot, so I picked out some flowers that could bake in the sun for a long time, that like really thrive in bright sunlight. And for a couple months, I made sure to just water it every day. But back to the book itself. Now, you can just buy a blank journal somewhere, but this one is actually homemade, the one I'm using. My wife made it for me years ago to use as a journal, and I never wrote anything in it. So I just had this handmade journal lying around. And basically my idea for this book was just to chronicle growing my first flower bed. I just wanted to track my first attempt at growing flowers. And of course I used Polaroids to document it. It's not even fancy or all that high end. It's just like a scrapbook. I'm just messing around and documenting. And I also wanted to start documenting flowers that I plan to grow in the future. And I think why this interests me so much, why I even care to stick some Polaroids into a blank book about my dinky little flower garden, is because I've become bored with photography and the photography world lately. I went on a road trip in May that really showed me a lot of what I'm looking for in photography. I think because of Instagram, largely, people are really looking to take cool photos of cool places, cool scenes. And often, in order to do that, in order to feel cool, one has to leave their own surroundings and go somewhere else that is perceived as cool. Cool places that many Instagram-soaked photographers like to go to: national parks, well-designed spaces, Roy's, and of course, Waffle House. And often these photos will get likes because they are cool. But they aren't art necessarily. I mean, they're cliches. They are, to use a popular term from the great comedy wars, hackneyed. They don't really express our beliefs or anything we feel or anything we're trying to say. We just want the dopamine hit of photographing something that we can guarantee will be acceptable to some usernames online. And this is something I've been wrestling with because I'm just as guilty of it as anyone. It feels good to shoot a photo of something undeniably cool or pleasant. But what does it say about me? Nothing. Doesn't really say anything. And I found over the years that I don't really want to do anything with these photos. They get buried. They go nowhere. I might as well have not have taken them. And maybe they're technically pleasant, but they aren't really moving my art forward. So on this road trip, I found myself focusing on things that I noticed, no matter how silly. no matter how mundane, like these lost cat signs in Hurricane, Utah, or this diseased picnic table in a state park, or this sunrise reflection on the back of a stop sign in Palm Springs. I love the backs of stop signs lately. Couldn't tell you why. I just do. And maybe these aren't high art or even art at all, but they're closer to saying something than photographing landmarks in the same way that's been done over 1,000 times. But really, we don't have to be like rigid about this. I think the Roy's sign, for example, could be an interesting subject if shot from a different point of view. Maybe someone shoots it over and over the years. I don't know. I just don't want to be like shooting tourist photos is bad, because I don't actually believe that. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I just think they're often shot the same way, and that doesn't really add anything artistically or creatively. So I guess my attempt to break out of some element of sameness in my photography would be to track the growth of a subject that I was directly involved in. The great part about photographing my own garden would be that I simply wanted to capture this thing that I put together. So I wasn't as tempted to rely on gimmicky tricks to try to bring some value to it. Well, I did some of my gimmicky tricks too, of course. Gardens are awesome because they're something real. You have to actually like do it. You have to actually like plant the stuff and get your hands dirty and feel it and pay attention to it. Being a photographer is mostly filled with a bunch of just like theoreticals. But for the most part, we're not really touching our photos. And also the curse of being a photographer is that you're often just like an observer of a subject or an event, but you're not actually part of it. Photographers often look at the world behind a piece of glass. The photos of this project were a bonus. The main goal was to get my hands dirty, to perform a daily ritual of watering and pulling invasive weeds. It wasn't a big part of my day, but it was something that liberated me from the regular flow of busyness. And I haven't traveled all that much this summer. And while I am getting a little stir-crazy from being home most of the summer, I've really only been interested in photographing things in my immediate vicinity. I was a military kid, and there's some downsides to that. There's quite a lot of them, but there's some upsides too. But one is that you never really feel like you know how to put roots down anywhere. You find that every few years you're kind of looking for the exit. You're ready to go. You've kind of tapped a place out. But that can also be a superpower. If I never feel fully comfortable in a place, I can get into the mind of like a visitor more easily. It's like being a tourist of my own environment. And I think that's how we kind of hack this desire to take just cool photos. We kind of have to find our way to get into the mind space of being able to see the coolness that's already there in front of us in our own lives. And that's what this book is ultimately about.
Ugh, man. A storm rolled through and blew everything over. Come on, guys. Come on, you can do it. No. 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 No, no, no. You're so pretty. Man. The Mega Boy. They just got too heavy. And the wind took them out. Come on. Come on, you can do it. You can stand up. You can stand up. No. No. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. Okay, I got you leaned up. Let's see. So sad. Man. Maybe when the sun comes out, they'll come up. Dang it. Look at my poor baby. His petals are all gone. That was a crazy storm that blew through. One storm. It destroyed my garden. No one told me this about planting a garden, that it could just be cut off from life at any second.
Even before my garden got destroyed, it was kind of this raggedy little thing. But the garden itself is a seed. It showed me what's possible. It showed me with a little research, some dirt, some regular watering, I could add color and vibrancy to even the most mundane environment. Now, all these flowers are annuals, so they really only get to bloom once, and then they're done. This flower bed was always meant to be kind of temporary. I think because the end may not be the important part. At the end of the day, it might just be all about the process itself.